Happy Memorial Day, or as I like to think of it, the Christmas of holidays. Show me a person who doesn't love Memorial Day, and I'll show you a person who doesn't remember what it feels like to be a child. Welcome to episode 2 of Tasty Comedy. And before we roll the theme music, I just want you to know that last week I clipped the song to be the right amount of time for how long I pretended to be listening to music. So from this point forward, it's going to be really hard to pretend to listen to music for the exact correct amount of time. But who knows? Maybe it'll work out. But more interestingly, maybe it won't. And I just wanted you to know that so that when you're watching it, you can see if I pretend for the right amount of time. Roll the song.
Young Tasty, DJ King Baldwin. Yo, son, you crazy for this one? And when I rap, it's like a group text eggplant.
All right. That was me pretending to listen to music. When you see it, the music will already be put in because we've got a dozen producers working on the show around the clock, getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars to do their job, which they obviously do. Because I don't know if you saw the first episode, but it was a banger. It was absolute fire. It's gotten a lot of views, 27 on YouTube. I would say 27 and counting, but that feels like a stretch. This episode is called... What's it called? Well, look at your notes. I believe you. I believe you that it's in there somewhere. Tough crowd? Okay. No, I know why. It's obvious. This episode is called Tough Crowd. I don't know if you know this, but we film Tasty Comedy in front of a live studio audience. And so far, they have not made a peep. They have not been amused by any of my jokes, which I respect. I say let them stay. To their credit, they're also not coughing or sneezing. They're not disrupting the podcast. But at the same time, they very clearly are not fans of me. I feel like the set they're okay with. We spared no expense making our set look exactly like a shitty studio apartment. We sent out our crew to find a shitty futon, and I don't know if you can see to my right, your left, we've got an executive office chair with the bottom removed, and it's put on top of a smaller chair, which is something you would find in a shitty studio apartment. It's not something you would find in my home, because my home is very nice. I live in a mansion by Lake of the Isles. It's one of the big ones. Yeah, I think that's fair. My producer said that my mansion is sexy, and I think that's fair. But anyway, let's move on to our first segment. It's a new segment called Technical Considerations. One of the most common comments that we got from the first episode was that I should be farther away from the camera. But here's the thing. We don't know how to do that. Yes, we have a dozen people working on the show, but we're not gods. We don't know how to get me farther from the camera because the camera is attached to my laptop. So you can't move it. And the chair that I'm sitting in, it does not recline. So I don't know what you could do with this situation. It's kind of locked in. And that was technical considerations. Last week I mentioned that I didn't even touch my hair because the whole point of a podcast is for the audience to feel like they woke up with me and to feel like I did not give a shit. I just rolled out of bed and I was like, fuck it and fuck you. That's not how I feel, but that's what a podcast is supposed to be, based on our research. Today, though, my hair, I don't know, I thought it could use a comb through, so I came prepared. I've got a comb that I bought at Walmart when I was in Michigan. I'm going to show you a lot of the items that I own, which I brought to the studio from my home. We've got the comb, and we've got the beer stein, out of which I drink coffee. Also bought at Walmart in Michigan. The coffee, however, I bought in Bloomington, Minnesota, at the Mall of America, at Walgreens, with local comedy legend Greg Orange. Shout out to Greg Orange! We'll maybe drop a sound effect right there, like a Rasta horn or something, but I'll be honest, we probably won't. Because we only have a dozen producers on this podcast. And most of them are very busy with lighting. Because I don't know if you can tell, but we light the fuck out of this podcast. Anyway, I'm going to comb my hair on the pod, just so you can really feel like you woke up with me. And eventually, we're going to have guests on the podcast. They're going to spend the night. Nothing below the belt, just a good old-fashioned slumber party. And then in the morning, they're going to wake up with me and we're just going to do the podcast. We're going to be like, fuck it. Eventually, I will do... Oh, fuck. Not good. That's better. I don't know if you could see, but some hair just fell out. I'm a lot older than I look. And I look like garbage, but however old you think I look, I'm about twice as old. Several more hairs just fell out. But that's what you get with a podcast. You want to watch someone's hair fall out. You want to see what they're wearing when they wake up. Last night, I slept in an old shirt that I found. NBA. Because the Timberwolves are in the playoffs. And this podcast is based in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, yes, Daddy.
We probably dropped another Rasta horn in there. But whatever. Maybe it'll be a different sound effect. Who knows? Let's get to our next segment, which is a fan favorite. It's called True Correspondence. What do we have this week? Oh, we have a question from Christopher. Christopher asks, what's the most you ever lost on a coin flip? Great question. Now, I don't really have a story for this one, but the most I ever lost on a coin flip was $79,000. Next question. Philip asks, how long do you think it'll be before AI fucks up comedy? Great question. For those who don't know, AI stands for ass implants. And a lot of comedians are getting ass implants. And in my opinion, it's already starting to fuck up comedy. Because you go to a show expecting jokes, and instead, you get ass implants. And they look good. I'm not even an ass guy, but comics nowadays, their asses are grade A meat. The kind that could bring your grandma back to life. Assuming she's dead. And that was True Correspondence. I'm being told the podcast is running long, so we're going to wrap it up. But in closing, I just want to say that not enough people respect women's sports. And it's starting to piss me off. Last weekend, I watched a WNBA game because I'm not a monster. And right on the court, it said, this might not be verbatim, but it said, pay some respect to women's sports. And I was like, fuck yeah. And then I watched the game, and there were several missed layups. Someone shot an air ball on a 3. It wasn't even close. And I was like, fuck yeah. Pay some respect to women's sports. And then I looked up one of my favorite players, Angel Reese. I looked at her box score. She went something like 0 for 20 from the field. But she also got 20 offensive rebounds. These numbers are not exact, but she definitely went. I don't know if you're a fan of algebra. Most of them fuck with algebra. Angel Reese went 0 for X from the field. She does that most games. But then she also gets X offensive rebounds. Because every time she misses a shot, she rebounds her own miss. And that makes her a statistical monster. One of the best in the history of sports. Women's or men's, or otherwise. So anyway, when you talk about Angel Reese, put some respect on her name. I think that's it. I want to thank Rich Penis. You did a great job. And thank you for watching. We'll be back whenever the fuck we feel like it. Thank you for watching. I love you. Oh, and you're gonna have to feed me the line again. You changed it? That's right, we changed it. Keep chasing that cock.
Young Tasty. DJ King Baldwin. Yo, son, you crazy for this one? And when I rap, it's like a group text eggplant.